Mm-hmm.
You see, part of this Holocaust problem is that we always start by discussing what the Germans did to the Jews, why Hitler came. The analysis doesn't even go to the point why Hitler came. Mm-hmm. Why did Hitler convince the majority of Germans to vote for him and to be loyal to his regime? And why this phenomenon that when Germany was lying in ruins and smoldering, burned from end to end by this Allied genocidal bombing campaign, did the German population not turn on its leaders and hang them themselves? There's not a single instant where a German leader of the National Socialist Party, regardless of how bad the war went for them, was ever executed, shot from behind, taken to court, strung up in a village square. Absolutely nothing. It took the Allies 2 years to rig up their kangaroo court in Nuremberg to do these judicial murders. Now, nobody has ever analyzed why the German nation that had more Nobel Prize winners and more famous researchers to rig up their kangaroo court in Nuremberg to do these judicial murders. Now, nobody has ever analyzed why the German nation that had more Nobel Prize winners and more famous researchers and scientists and was one of the best educated countries in Europe turn on the Jews. Why did these good Germans turn on the Jews, who had more Jews living amongst them than even percentage-wise live in the United States today? Why was that?
I'm sure
Jews never asked themselves this question.
I'm sure I'll get the answer from you now.
Yeah, I can give you the answer.
Please.
Because they displayed the same voracious ethnocentrism, power-grabbing, influence peddling, buying of politicians, dominating of the public airwaves and the public media in Germany and so on, that they display in the United States. And I'm not much of a prophet, but that much I can say, based on history, that in the United States, mark my word, you will have Weimar conditions, and you'll have solutions to the Weimar conditions that will be very similar to what happened in Germany.
You mean the final solution will be repeated in the United States?
Whatever the Holocaust war, you've got one in your future.
Really?
That's right. Why? Because...
How soon, by the way?
How soon? That depends entirely on how long the people, the power structure in the Western world is going to stay on top. I mean, if you look at East Germany, how quickly it collapsed, or the former Soviet Union, how quickly it collapsed with all its secret services, spy agencies, NKVD and Stasis, it imploded so quickly, I have no idea. But there is no doubt in my mind that if you look at history and the trends in history, the United States is heading in the same direction. And there's only one difference. In the United States, there are enough guns out on the street, and enough lawlessness in the public, and a revolutionary spirit that founded that republic. This is not Germany, where the only people that had guns were hunters and soldiers and policemen. The United States is armed to the teeth. They have a spirit of revolution in their blood. They are heroes, are people who turned against what they call tyranny and foreign occupiers and so on.
When the day will come, it will be a happy day for you?
It will be not a happy day for me. I believe in karma. I believe in karma. I behave every day knowing that my karma will catch up with me if I were to lie to you and sit here and mealy-mouthed tell you stories that in my heart are not true. That's why you, as an Israeli whom I never met before, most likely will never meet again, I'm witnessing before my God, my conscience, my concept of philosophy of life, exactly what I feel like, because I hope that history sent you here and that you will go back to wherever you go and say, there is a guy in Canada that has paid the price, being bombed twice, being burned out nearly twice, had been hounded by the Jewish lobby into jail cells after jail cells and court case after court case, and maybe he, our enemy, is holding up a mirror to us that would be very worthwhile to look into. So that's my point.
Going back to the question and I asked you, and you basically put the pretext to what happened in the World War II.
I'm saying to you that Adolf Hitler was an organic outgrowth of Jewish behavior and Jewish ethnocentrism in the heart of Europe.
So Jews invented Hitler in a way?
No, Jews created Hitler.
Really.
That's right.